Welcome to this deep dive. We're looking into those essential, sometimes tricky legal questions that pop up when you're building a life abroad.
Mm-hmm.
It can really feel like navigating a maze sometimes, right? And the unexpected turns, those are often the toughest.
Definitely.
You're likely someone who values being prepared, wants the core info without getting lost in, dense legal jargon.
Exactly. And our goal here isn't to just list laws or overwhelm you. It's more about practical understanding,
Right.
the kind that helps you protect yourself, your interests, as you settle into your new life internationally. We're going to unpack some surprising legal situations that come up quite often.
And hopefully offer some clarity on how to approach them.
Yes, effectively.
Think of this as maybe your shortcut to feeling more confident legally. By the end, you should have a much clearer picture of the key things to consider and, well, how to handle them.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, something many people encounter before they've even fully moved: giving legal authority from abroad.
Ah, yes. It's actually quite common. People need to kickstart things, maybe buying property or handling immigration paperwork while they're still in their home country.
Right, so they're not physically in Mexico yet.
Exactly. And in Mexico, the main tool for this is usually a power of attorney, or POA.
Okay, POA. So, practically speaking, what does that let you do?
Well, basically, a POA is a legal document. It lets you authorize someone you trust to act on your behalf for specific legal or financial things.
Like signing papers?
Precisely. But for it to be valid in Mexico, it generally needs to be formalized by what's called a notario publico.
A notario, that's like a special kind of lawyer, right?
Yes, they have specific authority to authenticate certain legal documents.
Mm.
Now, for maybe more limited tasks, just giving specific instructions to your lawyer might work too. It depends on how much authority you need to grant.
Okay. So if I need someone to actually sign for a house purchase before I get there, a proper validated POA is the way.
That's generally the case, yes.
Which brings up a big question for me.
Yeah.
Security. How do you give someone that power from afar without opening yourself up to, well, risk?
That's a really critical point. Trust is paramount, obviously, and thorough vetting,
You have to be sure.
absolutely. Because, unfortunately, the potential for misuse, for fraud, it does exist with POAs.
Scary thought.
It is. So, to minimize risks, be absolutely certain about the person you're authorizing. We strongly recommend using a reputable notario or an experienced lawyer to help draft the actual document.
To get the wording right.
Yes, and crucially, be very specific about the powers you're granting. Don't just give blanket authority.
Ah, like limited.
Exactly. For instance, you might specify the POA is only for signing the purchase agreement for this particular property,
Okay.
and maybe even that it expires on a certain date. That specificity adds a layer of security.
That makes a lot of sense. Limit the scope, limit the time. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Another area where expats often have questions: inheritance, especially for unmarried partners.
Yes, this is a really important one. In Mexico, the law treats unmarried couples very differently from legally married ones when it comes to inheritance.
How so?
Generally speaking, if there's no will, a partner in an unmarried relationship doesn't automatically inherit, not like a legal spouse would.
Wow, okay. So if you're not married and you want your partner to inherit your assets, maybe property, bank accounts, whatever, what's the best way to ensure that happens?
A will. A properly executed will is usually the most direct, most reliable way.
Regardless of marital status.
Yes, it lets you clearly state who gets what. Now, it's also worth knowing how Mexico views relationships. There isn't really common law marriage like in some places.
Right.
They do recognize something called concubinato or de facto relationships for certain rights, but for inheritance for unmarried partners, you typically need that will clearly naming the partner and your wishes.
And are there other formalities, like witnesses?
Sometimes, yes. Depending on the specifics, you might need witness testimonies or particular notarization. A will is key, though.
What if a couple wants something more formal for, say, shared property, but they don't necessarily want to get married?
That's where co-ownership agreements come in handy,
Oh.
especially for property they own together.
How does that work?
It's a legal agreement that clearly spells out each partner's ownership rights and responsibilities for that specific asset. It doesn't replace a will for everything, but it provides a solid legal framework for shared property.
Got it. Okay, let's tackle something else that causes anxiety: car accidents.
Oh, absolutely.
The idea of dealing with an accident in another country, maybe struggling with the language, it's daunting.
Completely understandable. The fear of legal issues, police misunderstandings, it's real. So if you are in an accident, the absolute first priority is safety. Everyone involved.
Right.
If it's safe, get the vehicles off the road.
Okay, safety first, then what? What are the key legal steps right there at the scene?
It's really vital to exchange information. Full names, addresses, insurance details, vehicle registration, get it all from the other driver.
And photos.
Definitely. Take detailed photos, damage of both cars, the general scene, license plates, everything.
What about involving the authorities?
If there are injuries, even minor ones, or significant damage, you'll likely need to call the local authorities. And remember, as an expat, you have rights.
Like what?
The right to remain silent, the right to get legal help. It's also crucial to understand that filing a police report, a denuncia, is usually a key step for insurance claims and any potential legal follow-up.
And insurance itself, how big a role does that play right away?
Huge. Having adequate car insurance that meets Mexican legal requirements is absolutely non-negotiable.
Make sure you're covered properly.
Yes, and understand your coverage. Also something really helpful. Keep an emergency contact card in Spanish in your car.
Oh, good idea. For communication barriers.
Exactly. It can really help if you're struggling to explain things. Also, be aware that in Mexico, insurance adjusters often come to the scene. They assess damage, sometimes even negotiate settlements right there.
Interesting. When should you definitely call a lawyer after an accident?
I'd say if there's serious injuries, definitely, or if there's major property damage. Also, if there's any disagreement at all about who is at fault,
Okay.
a lawyer can really guide you through the process, protect your interests, especially if there's that language barrier. Understanding the type of police report filed is also key.
Right, because that affects what happens next. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something else. Bringing domestic help from back home. Some expats, maybe retirees, need this.
Yes, and this is an area where people often hit unexpected roadblocks. Mexican immigration law is quite specific about temporary residence, and it's generally not straightforward to just sponsor a foreign domestic worker or caregiver under the standard temporary resident visa rules.
So someone relying on their long-term caregiver from home might have trouble bringing them legally?
That's often the case, yes.
Yeah.
You might hear about people making informal arrangements.
But that's risky.
Very risky. It's crucial to understand the legal requirements for a work permit. Employing someone without the proper authorization can lead to serious legal trouble. For everyone involved, you need to distinguish between what might be common practice and what's actually legal.
So what are the legitimate options then for someone needing help?
Well, the most legally sound approach is usually to hire help within Mexico.
People already authorized to work there.
Exactly. There are agencies, services that connect you with qualified caregivers, domestic workers who have the right permits. Consulting an immigration lawyer familiar with the latest rules is also a good idea. They can advise if any specific legal pathways might apply to your situation.
Okay. Let's think about another potential problem. Getting treated unfairly by professionals you hire, like a contractor maybe, or a real estate agent. What can you do?
This really highlights why formal documentation is so important.
Contracts.
Absolutely. Comprehensive written contracts. When you hire a contractor, architect, agent, anyone, get everything in writing. Scope of work, timelines, payment schedule, clear as possible.
And receipts.
Always. Get formal receipts, facturas, if possible, for every single payment.
So if things go wrong, these papers are your proof.
Precisely. In any dispute, those contracts, those receipts, they are your critical evidence. If you feel you've been wronged, you can look into filing complaints with professional bodies.
Like a licensing board.
Sometimes, yes. Depending on the issue and the amount, you might also consider small claims court. But honestly, without that solid documentation, it's incredibly hard to prove your case.
Paper trail is king. Got it. Okay, let's shift to something happier. Getting married in Mexico.
Ah, yes. A popular choice for many expats.
It seems romantic, but what are the actual legal steps involved for foreigners?
The legal marriage in Mexico is a civil ceremony. It's performed by a government official, usually at the local civil registry office.
And you need paperwork, I assume?
Oh, yes. Specific documents, usually valid passports, original birth certificates, often proof of your legal residency status in Mexico, too.
What if someone's been married before?
Then you'll need official divorce decrees or death certificates for the previous spouse. All official documents.
And how do you make sure that marriage is recognized back home, say in the US or Canada?
Good question. Typically, you need to get your Mexican marriage certificate authenticated. This usually means getting an apostille attached to it.
Apostille.
It's an international certification. It verifies the document's authenticity for use in other countries that are part of the Hague Convention. Then you'll likely need an official translation of the apostille certificate into English or the language of your home country.
So apostille plus translation equals recognized marriage.
Generally, yes.
Yeah.
That two-step process usually makes it legally valid back home.
Are there any specific legal pluses to getting married in Mexico as an expat besides, the marriage itself?
There can be. Marriage can open doors to certain legal benefits. For instance, applying for spousal residency might become an option, simplifying immigration for your partner.
Ah,
And it definitely impacts inheritance rights. As we discussed, a will is vital, but under Mexican law, legally married spouses generally have stronger automatic inheritance claims than unmarried partners if there's no will.
right. It provides a default. Okay, let's talk cars, vehicles. Buying one, importing one sounds like a lot of paperwork either way.
You're right, it is. And the processes are different. Importing a car involves customs procedures, taxes, potential modifications. It can be complex.
Versus buying one already in Mexico?
Buying locally still involves paperwork, of course. You have to handle the title transfer properly, get temporary plates while the permanent ones are processed, and be aware of the annual vehicle tax, the tenencia.
Tenencia.
Yeah, it's a state tax in many places, often based on the car's value. The rules can vary by state.
And insurance, obviously, is a must.
Non-negotiable. Whether imported or bought locally, you need adequate Mexican car insurance. It's the law and crucial for protection.
Any pitfalls to watch out for?
Definitely be cautious about potential scams or inflated prices, sometimes targeting expats who might not know the local market well.
So do your homework.
Absolutely. Research fair market values, deal with reputable sellers or dealerships. Due diligence is key.
Okay. Thinking further ahead now, end-of-life planning. This can be especially important for expats who are maybe living alone abroad.
It's a very important, though perhaps difficult thing to consider.
Yes.
For single expats, figuring out what happens to pets or their remains, it's vital to plan.
Can you plan for pets?
Yes. Including specific pet guardianship clauses in your will can provide huge peace of mind. Naming someone to care for them according to your wishes.
That's good to know. What about the funeral arrangements themselves, especially if there's no family nearby?
That could be complicated. Funeral laws and customs might be different in Mexico. Without family present, managing arrangements falls to someone else. So having advanced directives is really helpful. Documents outlining your preferences for your remains, burial, cremation, repatriation, it guides whoever's responsible.
Could you prearrange things?
Yes, designating a trusted executor in your will, or even making preliminary arrangements and payments with a local funeral home, can ease the burden. We often suggest a checklist for end-of-life prep for single expats.
A checklist sounds practical. Okay, one last area very relevant today. Remote legal stuff. Signing documents electronically when you're not physically in Mexico. Is that valid?
The digital age question.
Yeah.
It's evolving. The short answer is it depends.
Depends on the document.
Exactly. Some types of documents can be legally signed digitally in Mexico, but many others still require an in-person physical signature, often before a notario.
What about things like the FIL or e-firma? I hear about those.
Right. The FIL or e-firma is an advanced electronic signature issued by the Mexican tax authorities, SAT. It's like a secure digital ID.
And you need that for?
You often need it for official government transactions, tax filings, and some secure private sector processes. It adds a layer of legal validity to digital signatures in those contexts.
So it's not just a simple click to sign for everything.
Definitely not. You really need to know the specific requirements for the document you're dealing with. And security, preventing fraud in remote processes, is absolutely critical.
So if in doubt.
If you have any doubt at all about whether a remote signature is valid for a specific situation, get legal advice. Ensure you're complying fully with Mexican law.
Wow. This has been incredibly insightful, covering all these sometimes unexpected legal questions expats face. It really drives home the value of being prepared, doesn't it?
It really does. Having a good grasp of these key legal areas is just essential for a smoother, more secure life abroad. We've covered a lot today.
We have.
But it also shows how nuanced these things can be. Getting expert guidance tailored to your specific situation is often the smartest way to make sure you're making informed choices and, well, protecting yourself.
Absolutely. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Considering all these potential legal surprises we've talked about, what's one proactive step you could take that might bring you greater peace of mind as you plan or continue your expat life?
Definitely something worth pondering.